It's Wednesdays with Wade. San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joins the Blitz every Wednesday for an inside look at your San Antonio Brahmas. Now, here's the Blitz with Wade Phillips.
Yeah, it's about the only thing that makes a hump day better is to be able to talk with Wade Phillips, and we get to do that right now here on the Blitz.
That's right. The San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Coach, good to see you. Good to hear from you. How's life?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thanks.
You look good, Coach.
I don't know about that, but I feel good.
It's been such a strange season, especially for you. One more game to go. Take us through what this year has been like and what you expect Sunday, 11 a.m. in the Alamo Dome from the Brahmas.
Well, it's certainly not what we wanted, certainly, but we want to finish it off right. It's been a tough year for me, health-wise, starting out, but I'm getting better and better, so I'm feeling good now. And changed medicines, and everything seems to be working good. So I'm going to be there at the game. I won't be coaching the game, but I'll be there supporting them.
You know, Wade, when you look at the team, and I know there were some struggles, but it seems to me just watching the team play, these guys they never gave up despite all the adversity.
No, that's true. We got a lot of high character players that they want to do the best they can. I think they're trying to do that, but sometimes you just don't win when you think you have an opportunity, or you just keep trying, and you ask them to keep trying. That's what they're doing.
Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I saw something on one of the UFL pages the other day that the Brahmas have had more players coming and going, released more than everybody else. How difficult is that? One, with you not being with the team, but just with the kind of roster turnover for a variety of reasons throughout the season to try to create any kind of continuity.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. It's a lot of new players every year. There's a big turnover each year. So you almost have a new team each year. And then once you have that new team and then you have to replace a lot of them, or a lot of them are changing, it causes some problems.
You know, Wade, you got an opportunity to watch the coaching staff from afar and talk with them. I know you talk with Peyton quite a bit. Just a synopsis of how they dealt with everything in your view.
Yeah, there's the players. They've gotten the players to play hard every game, and that's the first thing you need to do is make sure that they don't quit on you, and I think they'll come out and do the same thing this last game. They'll play as hard as they can play, and I believe they'll win this last one. We get some support at home, it'd be great.
Absolutely. Sunday, 11 a.m. Arlington coming into town. We know they're generally pretty good. Luis Perez has given everybody fits in the spring football leagues going back to 2019. From a game plan standpoint, in a final game like this, and I know you're going to be there but not coaching, but what you can share with plans, is it try to get players playing time or playing to win the damn game?
We're going to play to win. It's about carryover, I think, and anything you can do positive now will help you with guys that come back next year. So it'll help with the fans and everybody else, because we have lost a lot of games, but again, we played close, but close isn't quite good enough, and so we need to get over the hump this last game, and then have some carryover in the next season.
You know, Wade, how difficult is that when you know that some of these guys won't be back next year? Maybe some will. Do you have any clue or any idea what guys will be coming back and what guys won't?
Well, not really. I mean, a lot of them are going to get an opportunity, I think, either after the NFL season or maybe before the NFL season. But, we had 130 guys last year that went to training camp. So from the league. So I expect that again this year. I think they'll pick up a lot of guys, and some of our guys are still playing to show what they can do, and see if an NFL team will pick them up. So this game's important to all of them for that reason, if nothing else.
Well, that's it. It's tape, and it's a live game as we visit with Wade Phillips. Now, while the record hasn't been what anybody thought it would be coming in, especially after the success of last year, individually, you have had some players that are playing at a high level. How many on this Brahmas roster do you think will get an opportunity to get into an NFL training camp?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any way of knowing that, but I think we've got offensive linemen that are NFL caliber, and everybody's looking for offensive linemen in the NFL. So, hopefully those guys will get a shot, but just, again, like I say, this last game is important for a lot of these guys to show what they can do and show something on tape that somebody might want to pick up.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, Wade, and I'm curious because you say you're going to play to win the game, and I know the fans appreciate that. But are there, I don't know, do you play certain guys to get them that tape more so than maybe others? Does that come into mind, or it's just the regular old game plan?
Well, I mean, you play the guys that you think are the best, no matter what, So, normally those guys, the guys that are first out there, are the guys you feel like are your best players. But any of them can come in and show something on tape that somebody can pick up because, a lot of these guys run the fast enough time to play. A lot of them are big enough and strong enough and so forth to be NFL players. So what they show on tape is really, really important.
Absolutely.
And every team, all 32 teams look at these tapes now. It's not like, they skim over them. They have their scouting department looking at them and seeing if there's somebody that they might want to pick up or somebody gets hurt on their team before the season starts. There's an opportunity there.
Campaigning might not be the right word, Coach Phillips, but how much campaigning or phone calls do you call other scouts, general managers on behalf of a player? I'm going to use the word campaigning, but let's say Reinagel was playing really well. Do you pick up the phone and call all your buddies in the NFL and say, you really guys need to look at Reinagel?
Yeah, Minnesota first, but
yeah, obviously.
Well, Coach, how much different is it in the UFL? And we've already talked about the fact you're going to try to win this game than it is, say, in an NFL game. Coming down to the last game of the season and you don't have a shot at the playoffs. Is there a different mindset between coaching in the UFL versus the NFL when it comes down to the final game like this?
Well, I mean, they say it in the NFL, and I don't believe it, but, sometimes teams don't want to win at the end because they get a higher draft choice. But, in this league, I don't think that happens. So you do get a pecking order as far as picking players the next season. But you already have a lot of you can get the players you had back. They don't necessarily go to other teams to start with. Like there's not a free agent that goes to another team that played for us last year normally. So I think our league is pretty level that way, in that everybody's got a chance to get some good players the next season, even though we have a pretty good turnover.
Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. Their season finale, 11 a.m. Sunday in the Alamo Dome against Arlington. And coaches, we talk about, pecking order for next year, getting players. There's been some news at the UFL, getting some trademarks in other cities, but, some expansion, some movement. I don't know what you could share with us about that, but overall, it sounds like the league in itself, successful year 2 after the merger, and healthy if there's talk of growth.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that was the original plan, was, to merge the league, but then to expand it if things went well. And it looks like things are going well that way. We still like a better attendance, I think, is a key thing. It helps your team certainly win home games to have more people there. St. Louis is certainly been a factor in that because they've been winning the last couple of years, but I think they've had the biggest crowds too, and they also get the championship games, which is a key if you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Coach Phillips, I'm going to ask this, and I hope I know the answer to it already. You're going to be back next year, right?
I expect to be. Yes, I'm feeling a lot better. Like I say, I'm able to do some things better, and certainly we're going to have a better defense next year. And we're going to be, and I've already put it out there, but we're going to be in the playoffs next year, and we hope everybody supports us.
Well, and I know coming into this year, you were just a couple of wins away from 100 career wins. I know you want to get that. So I love the fact that you're feeling better, and the plan is you're back next year. You're making all those plans and guaranteeing playoffs in San Antonio.
Love that.
Yeah, well, that's a guarantee that I'm gonna come through with.
Nice.
He promises.
Promises.
He promises.
Now, promises. There you go.
Yeah. Now. Wait,
hey, promises made, promises kept.
Right? There you go. Wait.
We've heard that somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere.
Wade for president.
Yeah, exactly. Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz. You say you're coming to the game on Sunday, and I'm so glad, and I'm sure everybody listening is that you are feeling better. Not coaching. How hard is it for you to be in the stadium watching your team play and not have input?
Yeah, it's harder watching TV, I think, than watching the game where at least you're not there. I'm there to support them and let them know I'm there to support them. When it's on TV, you're really further away, and I don't know. I want to show them that I'm with them no matter what, and so being at the game is really important for me.
Coach, it brings up a question. We were talking about players, maybe going and having a tryout in the NFL or doing something there. What about your coaching staff, and in particular Peyton Pardee? Do you think he's going to be NFL bound before too long?
Yeah, I believe so. We've got a couple of coaches on our staff that are, I know NFL teams are either bringing them to training camp or preseason, and and I expect that because we've got a lot of good coaches.
So
our offensive line coach last year went to Colorado as their offensive line coach. So this is an opportunity for coaches, not only players but coaches to advance, and that's a great thing for this league too, not only for players but for coaches. And we've got some young, really good young coaches. They don't want any old coaches like me, but they're looking out for those young guys that are coming in that are good coaches. And I think we've got several that have shown that they are, and people are starting to take notice.
So, Coach, regular season ends Sunday. What's the off season like for you? Like, for example, season ends, you're probably going to lose some coaches. You start player evaluations. At what point do you start looking at who you want on your staff or player development? Do you give it a couple of months, or is that something that essentially, a weekend off? Although for you, the way this season has gone, I imagine you're ready to just get right back to work and start getting ready for next season.
Yeah, I am. It's still building back a roster, and you don't know how many of them are going to come back or how many you want to come back, certainly, off your team. So that evaluation had to take place. And Mark Littlebridge, our GM, does a great job of evaluating players and picking up players for us. So we start that as soon as the season is over. And then, coaching wise, it would depend on, what coaches we'd have back or which ones, get another opportunity or won't be back with us. So, I had almost all my coaches back last year, but that could change quickly. I already know one of our coaches on defense is going to be a defensive coordinator in college. He's already taken the college job, so I'm sure that some of those guys will get different jobs, and then I'll have to replace them.
Good deal. Coach, I know you're at the house right now. I'm just curious, when you guys go to the hub city in Arlington, do you take that fancy recliner with you, or is that just at the home office?
No, that's just the home. Along with this Super Bowl trophy, they say right away.
Yeah, that's comfortable. That's comfortable.
I certainly wouldn't be moving that Super Bowl trophy, right?
I don't know. I mean, how I guess you see that every day when you're in the office. How much do you pick it up and just look at it and remember?
Yeah, it's getting heavier and heavier, but
or you can reach down and give us a better pull it forward and give us a good look at that Super Bowl trophy.
It's a great.
Look at that.
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
Yeah,
that is a big deal. This is a first. Somebody holding their Super Bowl trophy on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. That was pretty cool. I can see that in the background, Coach, going, hey, how do I bring that up? Let's start with the chair, because that's a great looking chair too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wade, we will see you Sunday in the Alamo Dome for the season finale.
I'll see everybody there pulling for us. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Coach Wade Phillips of the San Antonio Brahmas on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.